Good morning, everybody. Well, morning for me, whatever time of day it is for you when you're watching this. It is, considering it's winter, a glorious day. I'm still dressed up, nice and warm, but we have some blue sky with a little bit of cloud and a calm sea. Let me turn you around so you can see the state of the sea today. There we go. Can you see that? That looks pretty good, doesn't it? I'll just angle you up. That's better. Yeah, it is at last calm. It's still not clear, so it's not ideal Plaice conditions yet, but we're getting there. We are definitely getting closer. It looks pretty good. I've got more hope today than I had on my last session down here. I'm at Pevensey Bay again. I was in two minds about where to go today. I was thinking Eastbourne, Pevensey, but I thought, I'll just go back to Pevensey because last time I was down here I did manage to hoik a few out. Yeah, so it is glorious. I've only got frozen bait today because the tides are still a little bit small. I called the local tackle shop when I parked up in the bay to see if they had any fresh bait in today, but no, that's probably tomorrow the earliest. So still small-ish tides, but you're definitely getting bigger. So we've got building tides, high tide, let me just see the time. High tide is in just over 2 hours. So we're going to fish a couple of hours up, a couple of hours down. And yeah, I'll keep flexible like that. I might stay a bit longer, might go home sooner, you never know. But we are after those flatties. Let's see if we can hoik out some more Plaice today. And we're going to take a look at the rigs and the bait. See you in a second. So rigs for the day. I have here a variation on what I called the ultimate distance rig in my last video. I'm going to be using one of those rigs as well. So it was an URFE bar with a splashdown at the bottom, single hook rig, 4-foot snood. This is essentially the same rig as that. I'll just untie it. But this time I put a wishbone at the end, so it's a little bit less streamlined just because of the extra bait that's going to go out there. But I've still got high hopes for this rig. I think it's going to be the most streamlined way of sending out a wishbone rig that you can imagine. It's got one of the ties off. Let's get the other tie off. I'm going to try this with a plain lead today as well. I've managed to get some plain leads. I didn't have any on my last session. But here we have, let me just get them, a couple of aero leads from Shorecast. So there we go. These cast beautifully. And they're going to be what I'm using. I've got the green one in a 5 ounce and the white one here is a 6. So I'm just going to see how those two get on. And I've got a couple more with me, so I can either go both up to 6 or both down to 5 if need be. So what about this rig? Well, let's stick the 5 ounce lead on. So I've got my URFE bar. That's URFE. There we go, there's the URFE bar. And on the bottom of that we've got a splashdown. Got a Gemini splashdown. And I'm just going to pop the lead on there. It's always a bit fiddly getting these on, especially with the swivels at the top of the leads. There we go, that's on. So that there is literally the rig body. And on the swivel on the URFE bar, I've got my 2.5 inch bit of tube, my massively long 4-foot snood. I'm just going to drop the lead on the beach. And at the business end, I've got this wishbone set up. And you can see here, we got these are two size 2 Varavas Aberdeen hooks, green pop-up on each from Tronics Pro, and I've got some little rubber stops above those pop-up beads. So we've got for the bait stop a sequin, green pop-up, and then an extra little rubber stop for a bit of extra security. That's the same on both sides. And then I've got a swivel in the middle there, again trapped between 2 rubber stops, but I've given it a little bit of room to move, and I can adjust that as the session goes on, so I can either trap the swivel completely by just sliding those rubber stops up like that, or pulling them apart to give it a bit of wiggle room. So we're going to get this one baited up. I've still got to set my rods up, so we get that done, and then we'll take another look at some other rigs. See you in a bit. So let's get the rod set up. Got my Century Tip Tornado Graphics Super Match rod. Just give that spigot a wipe. It's got a bit of grit on it. Don't want grit going in there. There we go. All good to go. I'm going to put my blue 7HT mag on this and then we'll get that clip down earth wishbone chucked out. That's it, line up the eyes, and I'm just going to clip the earth bar onto the end there, and we need some bait. So given the state of the tide, still only frozen bait. I've got some frozen lug, frozen razors for the Plaice. I haven't got a lot of bait today. I've got 20 lug there, and I think I've got about another half dozen in that wrap that's been refrozen. So we're going to start off using the older refrozen stuff, and I use the fresh frozen later on in session. So these are all a little bit small worms, but that's fine for the wishbone rig here. Put a small worm on each hook, and then you've got a slightly larger bait than you would have in total on two hooks that are close together, so you've still got that scent going out. Right, get my scissors. These worms are still a little bit frozen, so I'm going to get two of these. If they are really small, I might stick a couple on each hook, but these look okay. Trim off the tops, trim off the tails, and we get these on bait needle. So slide these on tail first. God, that sun is glorious in my face. It's an absolutely lovely day. A lot nicer than my last session down here when I got a bit soaked. This coat is lovely and warm, but it's not very waterproof. Excuse me, coughing. Still the effects of the flu. Right, whip these on. So they're going to be frozen and mushy when they defrost more. We'll see what these look like on the hooks. If the baits are too small, I'll stick more worm on. So we're going to get this threaded on that size 2 Varavas Aberdeen. Looks just about alright. Slide the bait stop down. What I might do, if these baits come back untouched, I'll just top them up rather than put completely fresh bait on. And there we go. It's just big enough to go over the eye of the hook, which I like. Gives it a bit of extra security. Right, I need a rag. Got one in my box somewhere. There we are. Give my hands a quick clean and we're good to go. I just need to get this clipped up. So this rig is super simple. I got a comment on my last video asking or suggesting that I put an extra clip on, a bit like you would on a Bagnall bar rig, but it really doesn't need it. I was quite surprised it didn't tangle at all, but it really did fish beautifully. So we're going to get these hooks in the splash down here. That's one. This will be a bit fiddly because I've got 2 hooks on the go. Oops. Let me try that again. There's a very happy dog down the bottom of the beach, jumping in the sea like it's spring. Right, so there we go. I've got my 2 hooks. Get those both together in the splash down there. We're going to see how this works. Will it tangle? Will it still be amazing? Oops. Got to make sure that the elastic's well on the bait so that it doesn't twist up. And there we go, good to go. Look at that. There we have that wishbone version of the clip down earth rig, all good to go, beautifully streamlined. Let's see how it flies out there. So we'll get these baits whacked out, guys. Excuse me, coughing. I've already checked my drop length, got my thummy on. We're not twisted around the top iron because I've got the wind sort of slightly this way, a little bit behind me. I've actually been a bit risky and I took a click off the mags. Anyway, let's get this out there. Let's see how this fish is. Right, it went out. I could certainly feel a little bit more drag on that than the single hook version I was using in my last video. I'm going to take another click off these mags because it didn't lift at all. There we go, the baits are out. Let's see if this version stays untangled. See you in a bit. So I've got my second rig ready to go. This is that clip down earth rig that I used in my last video down Pevensey. And you can see that there, single hook, clipped up. This has got a size 2 saltwater super match on there and the same sort of green pop-up with the 4-foot snood. And this has got that 6-ounce aero bomb from Shorecast on there. So I'm going to get this one sent out too. This is also on my other Century rod and this one's paired with my Fathom 15. Bit heavy duty ready for Plaice fishing. But hey, that's what I brought and that's what I'm going to use. My other one's gone down to the left a bit, so I'm going to reel that in shortly. It's been out a little while I was getting this set up, you know, having a chat on the phone as you do, slowing down my fishing. So this has got that 6-ounce Shorecast aero lead on there. Didn't go as far as the first one. I do find I cast further with a 5-ounce lead than a 6, but we're going to see if the difference in these leads affects how that lead's rolling around out there, which could make the difference between a bite or not. Well folks, I was getting my spare rig ready and the rod here on the right that I just sent out with that single hook clip down earth rig on it has been bouncing away, so we're going to reel this one in and see if we got anything on the end. Let's see. The rig I've just got ready to go is a 2-hook loop rig, size 2 saltwater super match hooks, 18-inch snoods. My go-to snood length these days, really. I probably should mix it up a bit more, but I decided I was giving myself too much choice in my life and I had to narrow things down. I'm not sure we've hooked this, but there's only the one hook on there and it's a plain lead, and normally I use grip leads down here which do drag on the way in, but it was a bite, so that's a good start. The tide's racing in quite a bit. I'm hoping I've got enough beach here and I don't have to move up the top of the bank behind me. We'll see as the tide comes in what's going on. With building tides, using the last high tide line is not necessarily the best indicator of where you can set up. The swimmers have arrived on the beach next to me. And we do have a fish. I'm going to walk down so I don't drag it up. Well guys, it beats a blank, but it isn't what I wanted. We have the dreaded whiting. So I'm going to get this guy unhooked. It ain't very big. Looks pretty healthy though, so hopefully he'll swim off well. We'll get this guy back, get another rig chucked out. Well, it's time to check the one I chucked out first, the clip down earth wishbone. See if we've got anything on the end. It's gone a little bit slack. We'll see. Yeah, I think there's some weight on here. Hopefully not another whiting, eh? I thought I was going to get whiting when I was down there on my last trip, with it being a more coloured, cloudy, horrible day. I wasn't really expecting it today. It's obviously not cleared out enough yet. But I did catch flatties last time, so there's still hope. Still hope. I've only just started. There's lots of hope. Lots of hope. Oh, screws on my reels coming undone. Oops, tighten those up. That's not good. I was thinking, why does that feel weird reeling in? I'll get a screwdriver on them in a minute. I always carry my multi-tool with me for things like that. You never know when you're going to want it. Moment of truth, have we got anything? Got the leader knot? Is there a fish? Nothing. It was out quite a long time and my bait's been absolutely stripped. Let's have a look at that. Look at that. Not a single bit of worm left on there. Maybe I'll try a bit of razorfish on this when I rebait it. But for now I've got my single hook, clipped earth ring ready to go out. I need to get used to saying that name, don't I? Right, switch these rigs over. Just put that lead down by the tripod. At least it's bright green, that one, so I can see it anyway. Right. There we go. That is the single hook clipped earth ready to go out with that 6 ounce Shorecast aero lead. Oh, thummy. I mustn't forget my thummy. In fact, you know what? I should tighten them screws up first, shouldn't I? What am I doing? Get a grip gem. Don't want to cast my reel coming apart. Let's get my multi-tool out. Which I'll keep in my lead bag down here. There we go. Little multi-tool. Let's find a screwdriver. There we go. So let's get these screws tight. Don't want any mishaps. Just give them a little pinch. There we go. Good to go. Very useful tool. That back up. Where did I put my thummy? That's the next question. There it is. Black on black, hard to see. Right, after all that faffing, I think we're good to go, aren't we? Get this back out before I got swimmers swimming in front of me. They don't usually come on this beach, they usually just stay in front of the one they swim from. Let's check the drop length. A little bit too long, take a few inches off that. Oh, we've got a bite, look. Hopefully that's not another whiting. Right, let's get this back out, then we'll deal with that bite. One little loop in the line. What chances of that? There we are. And the swimmers are getting in. Hopefully they see our fishing over here and stay away from the line because it's not safe for them. It's not great for me, but definitely not great for them. Oh, I feel like I've had a workout already. Right, let's get this rig out of the way. Keep watching that bite. I think the water must be cold. There's some shrieks coming from the other beach. Right, how'd you say? They're enjoying getting into the water. Yeah, it must be chilly. I'm not getting in. Look at me, I'm dressed up to the nines. Right, I've got no bait on my spare rig, so I'm going to get this rebaited, and then when I've done that, we'll get that bite reeled in. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, I've rebaited the clipped down wishbone earth. So it's time to reel in this loop rig that I've been getting the bites on. Hopefully it's not another whiting, but I fear I know what it's going to be. There's definitely something on here. This one's got the grip lead on it. It's kind of interesting fishing with plain leads and grip leads. So certainly different when you're reeling in. But I also find it can be the case sometimes. I get more bites on the plain leads, but more hookups on the grip leads. So I don't know if that's going to be the case today. But I like the fact that the plain leads are going to give me that little bit of extra distance over a grip, because it's just that bit more streamlined without those wires sticking out the side. Wonder what we've got on here. 2 hooks on this one, so it could be 2 fish. Any fish will do at the moment. Even a whiting, even though I don't like catching them. It's not a whiting's fault, it's a whiting, is it? It's the way the universe had it come out. Let's get the leader up in the right place. There we are. Do we have anything, or was it just that grip lead? Oh, nothing on there. It's just me being weak and the grip lead. Bottom hook's been mullered though. Top hook untouched. Look, that's got a bit tangled up, look. Probably where that fish has been swimming around on it. Don't normally come back like that. Let's get that. Try and get that free. It's tied knots good and proper. Anyway, there you go. Attached bait. Let's get this rig unclipped. I can untangle it better once I've got this bait back out. So I've got my clipped down wishbone earth loaded and ready to go with that 5-ounce lead. I'm only going to plop it because I've got the swimmers aren't in front of me at all, but you know, I don't want to be accused of putting people in danger even though they're nowhere near me. I'm just going to flick this from up here. Nice gentle flick. Doesn't hurt to vary the distance anyway. See if we can find where there's some fish that aren't whiting. Is that optimism on my part? Maybe it is. Anyway, it's back out. I've got 2 rods in the water. And now I can sort that tangled little mess out. So the bite on the right hand rod's come back. This is the one I popped in close when the swimmers were out. So we get this one reeled in. See if we've got anything. What? Doesn't feel hooked. I'll pop it back down. See if it comes back. Just keep watching this for a bit. It was quite a delicate bite and it's not far out, which suggests to me it's probably something small just plucking at the bait. Anyway, I'll keep watching that and I'll bring you back if anything exciting happens. And I might bring you back if nothing exciting happens. It's probably more likely, isn't it? Hey, it's fishing after all. See you shortly. Well, folks, I've been getting a lot of finickety bites, so I've not been bothering to turn the camera on. We're just on high tide, and look what I've reeled in. A little double shot. And can you believe the size of that dab? Beautiful, eh? Woohoo! That beats a whiting, even if it is a baby. So I've chucked the whiting back, but look at the size of that dab. It is about the size of my hand. Perfect in every way. There's a wriggler. Let's get this tiny one shot back. I'll take you with me here. Not that I've got far to go, we're on high tide now. But yeah, let's get this chap put back. There you go. You can see the sea, I hope. Woohoo, the camera nearly went then. Let's try and get you a bit more level. There we go. Off he swims. Hopefully he'll come back when he's a little bit older. Right, time to get some more baits out. 3 fish, woohoo, 2 species. Oh guys, I've been getting some bites on the left-hand rod. It's not been out too long. And I'm standing here watching it, hoping that high tide was indeed 10 minutes ago. The sea's getting a little bit close. Anyway, let's pick up the left-hand one, see if we can make contact with the fish. I was hoping the water would have cleared out a bit more by now, but it hasn't. Still got a bit of colour. Not sure if there's anything on it. Feels a bit light, if I'm honest. Unlike when I reeled in the dab and whiting. But I'm hoping within the next 20 minutes we'll be properly into the ebb and the fishing will pick up. That's what happened when I was down here last time. A little bit into the ebb, the fish started feeding. Will the same happen today? Different day, different tide, different weather. Who knows? There's always hope. Other one sitting there nice and still, not rattling at all. Not sure if you can see that rod tip because I'm standing here, sort of between it and the camera. Right, I've got the leader on the reel. No fish. This is what I mean about these finicky bites. Getting little pull downs, but they just don't want to eat the bait. I think if I'd had fresh bait, that would have helped. But no fresh bait around at the moment, not in these parts. So we get this switched over. And then because I'm really running out of beach, I'm actually going to walk up to the top of the bank behind me to cast this out, which is where I've been doing the last few casts from. Right, I'll just chuck this up by my box to get it out of the way of the the tide. Oh dear, what am I doing? Get this next rig clipped on and then we'll go up to the top of the bank and get it whacked out. So I'm about to send out the clipped down wishbone URFE rig. Whoa! Hey. Definitely getting a little bit close. Anyway, let's go up the top of this bank. So here we go. Got my plain lead and the clipped down wishbone URFE and we'll get this one whacked out. Right. It's much easier casting up here on the flat surface, even though I'm like 20 yards back from the sea, or 15 yards. Still getting it further out because there's just no space left down there for me to stand. Well, it is 30 minutes after high tide and it doesn't seem to have dropped down at all yet. I've been getting some little plucks on the left hand rod, so we're going to reel that in, see if there's anything on the end. Hopefully I won't get wet feet. Let's see, I'm just going to lift into it. It's plucked away a few times. Let's see. Oh, that wind has got a nip, I tell you. Whoa! That wind has definitely got a nip. In the shelter it's quite pleasant, but standing out here it's picked up quite a bit since I got here this morning and it's clouded over quite a lot. I thought it was going to be a glorious morning, but it's definitely got more of a hint of winter than spring now. Anyway, have we got a fish? That's the big question, isn't it? bit of a bend in the tip. Is the leader not? I'm going to guess yes. Oh yes, we have a fish and it's flat on the 2-hook wishbone clip down earth thingy me jig. There we go, look, oops, get a bit of hold of him. A beautifully marked dab. There we go, a bit bigger than the first one, and it's flatfish. I do love the flatties. Let's get this guy unhooked and I'll chuck him back. Oh, that's on the frozen lug, by the way. You probably saw that anyway, it's not on the razorfish. Got both baits on there. Put that back down. Oh, how deep's this hook? Oh, it's taken that right down. So I'll put him in the bucket, get him a chance to get some energy back, get the other rig cast out, and then I'll unhook him. I'm going to have to go through the gills on this one. So I'll put him in a bucket of water down there. There we are. And he can sit in there for a bit. Let's get some baits back out there. Well, I'm reeling in the 2-hook loop rig now. And there's a bit of weight here. I don't know if it's just the grip lead getting a bit buried or if there's a fish on the end. I'm just going to stand right behind my other rod, so I'm not quite sure which way around my lines are. I'm tighten up my drag a little bit. There's definitely weight on this. Is that a fair old way? So I might edit out some of the reeling in. Hey, it is a double shot, and not the biggest fish in the world, but we have another absolutely miniature dab and a little rockling. So I'm going to get these guys in the bucket, get another rig chucked out. So I pop them in the bucket that's down there. That dab is absolutely tiny. Very cute though, very, very cute. Right. Let's get the next clip down earth ready to go. The wishbone one. I'm going to walk back up the bank to cast this out. So I'll see you in a bit. Well guys, my battery died while I was reeling in. There was nothing on the end. But about 20 yards that way, Mr. Seal's just popped his head out of the water. I never like seeing a seal. I was going to fish for another half an hour. I've just had bites on both rods, so at least that's a positive, given the seal's about. So I'll probably have one more chuck after these casts, and hopefully that seal's going to clear off. Anyway, I'm going to watch these bites, and I'll see you guys in a bit, and I'm going to eat my carrot. So we've seen a seal, and look what I get rewarded with. Another whiting. I'm going to chuck this guy back and then we'll get this one sent out for one last cast. I've still got the other one to reel in, and that's going to go out for another chuck too. Right, reel the other one in. Oh, it feels like there's a little bit of weight on there. This one's got the 2-hook wishbone clipped earth thingy, which hasn't tangled at all. So I think that's both the 1-hook and the wishbone version, bit of a success. I think I prefer the 1-hook one. It's probably the simplest rig to make ever, and the best distance rig I've used for this kind of fishing. Oh, there's a bigger wave coming. I can't believe we're over an hour and a half past high tide, and it hasn't dropped off at all. Not a bit. The swell's definitely picked up, which I'm surprised by because we've got this northerly wind blowing. The fish knows it's getting near the edge. This could be another double shot. Keep that tension on as it comes through. Oh, I kept the leader not in the right place. What do we have? Oh hey, it is a double shot. Lovely stuff. I may not have had my place, but we've certainly done all right on the dabs today, haven't we? Let's have a look at these guys. And there we have it. 2 beautiful dabs. I'll get these guys in the bucket, get them a bit of rest, get them unhooked, and then get the baits chucked back out. Love it. Flatty heaven. So there we have a beautiful brace of dabs. One was nicely lip hooked, hook came out straight away. The smaller of the 2, I used the through the gills method. There is a little short on my channel showing how to use the through the gills method. Check that out if you've not done it. It's a really good way of getting deep hooks out of flatfish. Anyway, I'm going to chuck these guys back. Wait for the next wave. And then they're going to be good to go. There we go, little fellas. That's it. Time to get some more baits out. So I'm going to do my last cast of the day, get these juicy black lug sent back out. Up the bank I go, because there's still no space down there. Just cast out quick before these walkers come past. Let's see if we can get another double shot, eh? Little overrun. Just pull that out. A few little loops there. That's it. Gotta leave loops in the reel. So much easier casting up here on the flat. But that's it. The baits are back out. Well guys, this is the end of the session. Just reeling in for the last time. I've already packed one rod away. Let's see if we've got anything on here. It has got some weight. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider clicking the like button. Please consider subscribing, especially if you're a regular viewer. And if you've enjoyed watching me use this clip down earth rig, check out my last video that I put up where I show it in action for the first time and talk about it in a little more detail. But it's worked really well again. I'm super pleased with this rig, and I can see I'm going to be using it a lot more in the future. I've just ordered myself a load more earth bars. That's URFE. I've had a few comments on the previous video saying earth bars. It's not earth, it's earth. URFE. So if you like the look of this rig, get yourself some earth bars, some splashdowns, and it's the simplest rig to make ever, except an earth rig itself that doesn't have the clip, doesn't have the splashdown on it normally, and it's just fished as like a flapper. We're nearly in. Let's see if we've got one last fish to finish the session, eh? Be nice, wouldn't it? Have we got another one? Yes, we do. What do we have here? Oh. Well, it isn't a dab. It's another one of these beasts, which is definitely signalling it's time for me to pack up and get home. But there we go. We finished on a fish, and I'll see you somewhere else on the beach next time. Bye, everybody.